Welcome back to Just You and Me. I am Donna.
What the hell was that?
It's our musical episode. How are you, Adam?
Good. How are you doing? It's funny you say that because I was coaching my daughter yesterday, this morning, actually the day before. She's auditioning. There's a school play that they're doing, and she needed help with her monologue and her singing.
Aw.
Yes.
What's the play?
It's Schoolhouse Rock Live. I guess they did some kind of musical around it, and
Nice.
let's just say that
Uh-oh.
she needed a lot more coaching in one and not as much in the other.
So Dylan is in Tech Week, rehearsal week. This is the big week for his big school musical, which is going to be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. He's doing Once Upon a Mattress for his school.
Nice.
And this is one of those shows that I've never seen and I don't care to see, but I will see because he's in it. He even agrees. He's like, this is not my show. This is not the show. This is the show that like schools do, but this is not the show, you know?
Right. As a mom, do you have to go to all three performances?
So I will not go to all three. If he was the lead, I would go
Okay.
to all three, but I'm going Sunday night and I'll go closing night, but not Monday night. Monday night is like an after school. Tuesday is also after school, but Monday, my younger sister will go, so he'll still have like someone there as a visitor, as a guest, whatever. But I'm not going to go. It's too much.
I know. I'm trying to remember when I was in like my high school performances. Did my parents come all 3 nights? That just sounds ridiculous.
It's interesting. I mean, listen, when I was in high school, I was in a play and there was probably like 3 shows and I had one scene.
Oh.
I was like in one scene and I probably had 4 lines and my mom went once and my dad, who I don't even talk to anymore, went every night.
Oh. Okay.
Isn't that weird?
Huh. I
Yeah,
was
my dad did strange things like that. Like my dad wasn't a very good dad, but he showed up for things like that.
weird.
Yeah,
I was
like pick and
I
choose.
was but that's the thing. I was the star of my musical.
Of course you
And
were.
of course I was. And I don't think they showed up. And then the play that I was in my senior year, I mean, it was an ensemble cast, and I was one of the biggest part of that ensemble. And I don't think they came all 3. So weird. I wouldn't.
It's
I don't
really
think I would.
annoying to have to go and watch a musical three nights in a row if
I
the
know.
kid's not like the lead.
Also, what is it?
But
Middle school? Like, is it that
middle
exciting?
school.
Is your dog okay out there? Is your dog fine?
Honestly, she's fine, and I really don't want to get up and close the door. So I'm sending her away. This is actually a moment to talk about my dog. I'm sending her away for a month
What? Why? Wow.
because she is a very reactive dog in the barking. She's very vocal.
I know. We can tell.
And I don't have the ability to train her. You really have to be on top of it. You have to be, it's like a 24/7 thing. Like she's barking right now at a bird. And I can't live like this. She barks at toys. She barks at birds. She barks at squirrels. She barks when she sees a light. Like she's one of those kinds of dogs. I've never had a dog like that. She's such a great dog other than this, but this will drive a family crazy.
Right.
And so I hired a trainer. She has taken a bunch of my friends' dogs for weeks at a time that like need help with potty training or sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've never had to do this with a dog. I've never had a dog that I've needed to send away. But she said, listen, when it comes to stuff like this, where you really need like a solid amount of time to like teach it, unless you can be on top of them 24/7 and constantly be reaffirming them, which I can't because I'm doing my show, I'm working, and then with the kids, and I have multiple dogs. It's really hard to train a dog.
Right. Oh, I know. I mean, ours is pretty crazy, but not barking crazy like this. This would just be super annoying.
It's beyond. So if she doesn't stop in the next few minutes, I'm gonna do something about it. But I'm gonna see if she kind of calms down on her own. It's annoying for me, and it's annoying for the neighbors.
Yeah. I'm sure what you're doing is pretty cheap. I'm sure it's very affordable sending this dog away for a month. Right?
Listen, it's actually shockingly not as expensive as you would imagine.
Okay.
She is It's actually somewhat like, and the way that I kind of think about it in my mind is, number one, we got her almost for free because she was a rescue off a friend from Facebook. So I paid $200 for the dog because
Ooh, nice.
I just paid for some supplies that they had bought for her. So she was a free dog anyway. But also, the way I kind of like rationalize this is, with my other dog, I never did this, and I ended up hiring random trainers for like months on end, just trying to help with the random things here and there, which ends up being so expensive because you hire $300, $400, $200, and then nothing ever really works unless you really stick with it. And also, you assume you're going to have a dog for 10, 12 years, at least 14 years, 15 years, if you're lucky.
Right.
Life is like, it's worth spending this money to fix these issues when they're young. And I don't know if I have it in me to be able to, it's a full-time job to train a dog well. So I want to make sure that we have a good life with this dog. And I don't want to like pull my hair out and say, why did I do this?
I get it. Believe me. It's, my dog is medicated because.
On a daily basis, all the time, every day?
Oh, yeah.
With like Prozac?
Yeah, she's on Prozac.
I tried Prozac for Murphy, my other dog, who's a very anxious dog, and it didn't work.
Ours worked. The issue is, though, with Bailey refuses to go on walks. She refuses to see the outside world besides our backyard.
What?
She does not want to leave this house unless it's the backyard. That is it. The second we try to walk her outside, she's like, fuck no.
Wait, she's one of those
Agoraphobe.
what is that? Yeah, agoraphobes.
I know.
Agoraphobes. She's scared to leave her home.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. She was a rescue. It's really difficult to find French Bulldog rescues, but she was a rescue. And we got her as a puppy. We rescued her somewhere in Mexico. We found some kind of way, I don't know, some kind of rescue operation that brought her across the border. It was this whole freaking thing.
She was traumatized probably by it. It sounds scary.
So what we had heard was that, French Bulldogs, especially since I said they're so hard to find rescues, is usually because something probably really messed up happened why they needed to give those dogs away. It was actually a litter of French Bulldogs. And something probably went really wrong where this breeder was like, I need to give all of these dogs away. I cannot, I don't have time to sell these dogs. I need to give these all away. So we're going to surrender these dogs to a rescue. So I don't know what happened in that short part of her life, but it triggered something, and she's a little screwy. I love her. She's ugly as sin, but I love her. And she just has so many weird ticks to her.
Yeah.
But she's, for the most part, she's good. She's not biting. She's not violent. She's like any of that stuff. Not a problem. She's just scared of leaving the house. It's very
anxious.
Weird.
So
Yeah.
the Prozac isn't helping.
Well, in that respect, it's calmed her down in a lot of other ways. But from like the going outside, I just think it's one of those things where we can pump her full of every drug known to man. I don't think she's ever going to want to go outside.
So wild.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a dog that doesn't like to go outside.
Well, it helps my lazy ass where I can just open up the back door and she does it. And the greatest thing is that we have a side of the house where she goes to the bathroom on the side of the house.
Yeah.
So even if I look out to my backyard, I don't see poop everywhere. It's literally just on the side of the house. Out of sight, out of mind. It just piles up there, and then the gardener comes. Done.
The gardener even cleans up your shit.
Yeah, it's like
lazy, Adam, lazy.
Oh, it's fantastic. This dog was made for me.
Literally.
I don't have to do a damn thing.
Wow.
Yes.
Does it nap with you too?
It did earlier today.
Oh, I'm
yes,
sure
she
it did. So exciting news on my end. I have a new nephew.
Oh, Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
That's exciting. Okay, explain whom, how. I know how.
penis went into a. So my little sister, my
Wait, into
youngest
what?
little
You
sister.
can't stop a sentence like that. What did
It
it
just
go
went
into?
somewhere. A penis went
A
somewhere.
penis went somewhere.
Just it flew somewhere. So my littlest sister, my youngest sister. I have two sister. I have a lot of siblings, but my dad had two young daughters after my sister and I. He remarried, had two more, and they are 11 and 13 years younger than me. And the youngest is a pediatric resident in Arizona. So she's going to be a pediatrician.
Nice.
And she is married and was pregnant and just had her little baby. So that's why she wasn't at the bar mitzvah, because she was like 38 weeks pregnant.
Okay.
And he's healthy, and they haven't
Baby boy.
officially announced. Yes, it's a boy. They haven't officially announced, so I'm not saying his name or anything, but that happened 2 days ago. It's so sweet, and he's the cutest little boy, and now I want a little baby for 1 hour.
Just an hour.
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine a new baby.
Let me ask you a
Can
question.
you imagine going through that again?
No. That's offensive for you to bring up the fact. Like, I can't. No.
I can't even. Like, it's so cute to see the pictures and the little. But I can't even. I look at her and see them, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what is ahead of them right now? Like, because you're in the bliss, right? 48 hours. I mean, she's, of course, healing from a pretty traumatic, like, situation. Of course, it was like, it was the last minute, like, there was tearing, this, that, all that stuff. But, sorry, I just...
Tearing.
But you're in bliss. You have this little 48-hour baby boy who's... But then they wake up. And then they start... And then they become toddlers, and then they become teenagers.
Oh God, you really skipped over from toddler to teenager, didn't you?
There's a lot of years of shit, but then they become teenagers. And I've had to pull my son's phone from him many a times in the last few weeks.
Why?
And I just saw that Australia
Yes.
banned social media for all people 16 and under. What do you think?
What do I think? Make it happen here. I am scared. Listen, I say this without having a child at that age. My eldest, sounds so ridiculous.
You sound 90.
My eldest child is 10, so
Yeah.
I don't know. She doesn't have a phone, and I don't have that kind of issue yet with phones and social media and any of that. So as somebody who's purely outside looking in, I love this because social media to me, as we talk about every week on this podcast,
It's such a big part of like our issues in this world.
and there's so many problems. There's so many things that are either started or perpetuated through social media. Now, the stuff that we talk about, maybe they're not going to be dealing with, but there are other things, obviously, as a child, as a teenager, that they have to deal with and understand with social media. So for me, looking at that, I'm like, awesome. Let's do it. Let's ban it till 18. I don't want this under my roof. When they leave for college, then they can start using it. Enjoy. But it's different for me now.
So what is social media exactly? Is YouTube?
Well, I don't know. What did they say in Australia? I don't know.
That's actually something interesting because I know that I pulled TikTok from Dylan. Let me see. Australia social media ban. Ooh. I wonder what it actually... I pulled TikTok from Dylan for a while when he was going through a lot of anxiety and stress. But then I realized that he was on YouTube. And even though he wasn't creating content, even he wasn't creating content on TikTok, YouTube is just like TikTok.
Well,
because they have all of the YouTube shorts, which are TikToks
right.
on
So,
YouTube.
I mean, I guess that's interesting.
Okay, I got the ban.
Oh, good.
Meta's Facebook,
I'm
Instagram
sure
and Threads.
A lot of teenagers reading Facebook.
Instagram and Threads.
Okay.
Reddit, huge.
Good.
Snapchat, huge for
Yes.
kids. TikTok, Twitch, X, and YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. Here is the. Okay, let's do pros and cons. Pros and cons.
All right.
Pros, no access to bullying online with your friends and having to see like a group of your friends get together without you and take pictures and make fun of you as groups. Like I imagine that happens a lot in like those Snapchat groups. I don't know, I'm not on Snapchat, but I hear about like Snapchat being kind of like
Right.
so that kind of pro. You say a pro.
Well, I say similar to what you were just saying, but maybe for a more of a female side of it. There's not an issue of kind of a keeping up with the Joneses type thing of seeing somebody on, on a reel that you look up to having this makeup and that makeup, and then all of a sudden, your child comes to you wanting to buy it, needing to buy it, anything like that. So I think that's part of it, but also the body positivity thing. There's so much of this issue of children wanting to, especially girls, looking a certain way, wearing certain clothing, and girls always kind of want to do that same thing. They want to look a certain way, and if they're not skinny enough, they're not this enough, then maybe they see themselves as not good enough.
Yeah.
And that scares me.
Here's another pro. Lots of misinformation online. And these 14, 13, Dylan's 13. So he's already learning shit that's, I think, probably false, starting when he was 11, 12, on YouTube or on TikTok or on any of these places. So now you're waiting until you're at least 16 to have a little bit more of a developed brain to be able to discern between false and true. And you're also not watching content that's being created by younger kids that is completely false. And even though we know so many adults that are falling for idiotic fake news, but at least you are eliminating kids getting indoctrinated by complete fake shit online. Okay, so that's also pros.
I got another pro.
Okay.
Scrolling addiction.
Totally.
There's, obviously us as adults, we have this as well. We scroll a lot, we do that, but we have lived long enough and have developed a brain. Well, most of us, brains are developed enough to know that, okay, I am done scrolling. I need to do this. I need to do that. This is more important. There's priorities to be done. The addiction of scrolling and watching these things, because it's so easy to have this in your hand and just going from reel to reel to reel, is damaging. Mm-hmm. And it is not good for your brain to continue doing that. There's so much more to this world. And I know it's very, when I was your age type crap, but it's true. When I was our kids' age, I was outside doing stuff and playing with friends. We didn't have this, so it's definitely different. The damage of the of scrolling can definitely be real.
Yeah. Okay, so those are all really, really great pros.
Reasons to
keep it going. Okay, I'm going to say the first con that I immediately can think of is when YouTube is being thrown in there. I can speak just for myself, for what happens in my house. There's a lot of negative, internet usage that my kids do too. Like I see my kids scrolling stupid YouTube shorts of pranks and like idiotic stuff all the time. But specifically Dylan, is an incredibly intelligent child when he gets hyperfixated on like educational stuff. And if he gets in that frame of mind, like I just gave him my old computer, my old desktop for his room so he can just have a desktop, and we have screen limits on it, and we take luckily it's all like wireless, so we can just take the keyboard and the mouse away from him at night, so he has absolutely no access to his computer at night. It's the best thing ever. But he, like the other day, over Thanksgiving weekend or whatever, we went into his room. It was nighttime. We were like, what are you doing? And he's just sitting there on his desktop, and he's watching YouTube about like the history of a Greek civilization, and he's learning this like deep thing. And an hour later, we go in there, and he's watching another video about the YouTube but it's smart stuff.
Right.
Like YouTube actually does have incredibly educational content.
Yes.
That kids are learning a lot. Dylan has learned probably so many useful things on platforms like YouTube. It's actually kind of sad that that's all taken away for kids under 16.
Well, yes and no. I feel like there are other ways that your child or any child can consume that type of information. Yeah, it may not be in the same version or the same way, but I'm sure, any of these streaming services have educational content. You can still watch this kind of stuff. Again, it's different than the way you're saying in terms of the way it's presented, and YouTube definitely has that way of presenting.
YouTube is much more like, it's more contemporary. It's easier to find. It's easier. It's like streaming services. Come on, it's like boring.
Listen, that's the way they're going to have to get this information. I mean, if Australia continues to uphold this, and then basically what's going to end up happening is that the next generation of kids is just going to be used to it. They're going to have to do this. They're going to have to, if they want to seek out information like the way you did, like the way you said your son did. But the difference is, where I do agree with you in terms of the way, was it Dylan who did it? You were saying?
Yep.
Is the discoverability of it. You can't just discover it on a streaming service. You have to be looking for it specifically. You have to be searching on your whatever, your tablet or your TV, for what kind of content you want to watch. If you're on YouTube, you're basically just discovering it. You see it, and it leads you to the next video, and it leads you to the next video, which is good in that respect. So I understand that discoverability is very good, and it works very, very well in ways that you're saying. But to be completely honest, I think that's the outlier. I think Dylan is a smart kid, and I don't think that's happening for most kids. I don't think everyone's sitting there in their room watching history shit.
True, and he's not doing that 50% of the time.
Right.
50% of the time he's doing stupid shit. So the question is, I wonder how they're enacting it, and what about the 14-year-olds that have been using all these apps for 4 years or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's just pulled away from them?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. It'll be an interesting case study.
And of course, Meta and Snapchat and all these companies, they're all speaking heavily against it. They are very, very anti this. They're saying that there is, experts, youth groups, and many parents agree that blanket bans are not the solution. They isolate teens from online communities and information while providing inconsistent protection across the many apps that they use. There's a better way. Legislation that empowers parents to approve app downloads and verify age, that allows families, not the government, to decide which apps teens can access. Listen, I kind of see this too, and I have to be 100% honest. I have that in my house too. My kids cannot download any apps without getting our approval. They always have to, it always comes to our phone, whether they're on their phones, their tablets, their computers. The only positive here is that it's across the whole country. So it's not just that it's only in their home that, they have to be off it, but all their friends are on it. So it's like none of their friends are on it. But it does feel a little bit of, they're going to be forced to have to pick up the phone and call each other.
Yeah. Like what we used to do.
It's just going to be a lot of getting used to. I'm curious. I want to see a documentary of what happens in 10 years.
I'm pretty sure that I must have called you. We weren't using social media. I was just calling you.
No, you left me your phone number. You left me your phone number in my journal. I still have it upstairs. My Will Pond journal. You were like, call me, D's nuts, Noom dog.
And my phone number was 832 Noom.
832 Noom.
Neum.
And I remember my number too.
Which was?
935-3030.
Donna?
No, it was
Just it was whatever.
Call
It
you
wasn't.
right back it was welcome. Where in the world is Donna Gurgley? At 935-3030. She'll call you right back when she gets to the phone. When she gets home.
Are you kidding me?
And then there was a second verse, but I don't.
Was that when you were when you were in Israel? Because we're in the world and you're in another part of the world.
Like, yeah, that was my voice. That was my answering machine.
Oh, yeah,
We had answering machines.
I know,
And
I remember.
play.
I know this is getting not. I don't know who cares about this, but
good
there was
old
this guy.
times.
There was this guy on our trip named Avi Levy who we talk
Where
about
is
all
he
the
now?
time.
Still in Israel.
Probably, and I remember specifically when we got back from Israel. I don't remember why, but I called him, and
I'm
his
embarrassed
message.
already for you.
I know, right? No, his message machine was Mark Morrison's Return of the Mac because he just got back from Israel, so it's him returning, and he's the Mac. Avi Levy.
Return of the Mac.
What? Avi Levy was the Mac. What the hell? I don't know why I remember that. It just always cracked me up. Like,
So we were talking about.
What kind of ego does one have as a 16-year-old white Jew, somewhere lives with his parents in West LA, to have Return of the Mac from Mark Morrison because you got back from Israel on your parents' dime, and you're the Mac?
Do you remember how we used to do this on voice machines or whatever? We would play the music and then then we'd lower it and be like,
Yep.
Hey, you've reached on.
Oh my God, did I do that all the time? I'm trying to remember what songs I had. It was so bad. I know. It was like everybody needed to hear the first verse of, I don't know. What's a good 90s song?
So funny.
It's ridiculous.
So funny. So, okay, wait. Speaking of, I went to a bar mitzvah, my best friend's son's bar mitzvah over the weekend, and I sent you pictures because I was with two of our girlfriends from our Israel trip when we were 16. One of them you had a crush on.
Donna Gutentag.
No, but you had a crush on Jessica, I thought.
No, you see, I had a crush on a lot of people. I mean, you were the one that really got away, obviously.
What do you mean got away? You got me for 1 week and then you dropped me.
Yeah, and then
you dropped me.
But, okay, you got away. Why are you so angry with me right now, Donna?
Because it pisses me off.
I found Donna Gutentag very cute because I'm a short human being and she was very petite and short. So yes, I found her very cute, but I never really talked to her. But then Jessica Mandelberg, yes, she was good. I had a big crush on her. And
she was good.
Yeah, yes. What word do you want me to use?
She was cute. She was hot. Well, she was good.
Okay, fine.
Like in bed?
No, I didn't sleep with the woman. Girl, whatever she is. I made out with her, though, on the airplane back.
You did?
Yes. We made out
with her.
On the El Al flight back with all the Orthodox Jews praying and davening around us. There were Jessica. Are you texting her right now?
No, but I'm going to text our Ulpine group if I still have the text thread. I wonder if I still have it on my phone.
Why? To send
I'm gonna
everybody.
text them the pictures from.
Okay, so you went to this bar mitzvah.
Yeah, and it was fun because I was able to see, girls from 1997. It's interesting when you see people that you knew from 1997, and yet it's like no time has passed. Like you feel like you look exactly the same.
I mean, yes, I get that. Except for me, I had braces. It's probably skinnier.
You look like a different person.
Yeah, right?
You are the only person, I think, from that trip that has changed completely. So let's get back into being Jewish.
Yes.
Okay?
Let's.
Back into the davening of the flight. No, I'm just joking. So we have... this week, what's happening in the world of Jews?
Well, there was one thing I wanted to discuss, and I know because I want to discuss this before you get into your Candace Owen updates, because I know you definitely want to talk about that. Am I correct?
Well, she just drives me fucking crazy.
Okay, good.
Does she not drive you?
She does, but again, there are other.
She doesn't bother you like Miss Rachel. I know.
Yes. Okay, so do you know a person by the name of Shannon Sharpe?
I saw this clip, but I saw a very short clip.
Okay, do you know him?
I know of him, but he's like a sports guy, yeah?
Yes, so that's very vague, but yes, he's a sports guy. He played for the Denver Broncos, very, very good football player back in the day. And now he has a very popular podcast. And it's not just a podcast that he talks to athletes, he talks to celebrities. He did a lot. He was talking a lot about, first of all, his podcast is called Club Shay Shay. He has a lot of different celebrities.
I've heard of that.
And you've probably heard a lot of the celebrities that have been on there talking about, I feel like he's talked a lot about P. Diddy, all the Sean Combs stuff, and he's had celebrities on all this stuff.
Do you like him normally?
No, he's obnoxious, and he's also had some sexual assault charges against him.
Oh, so he's kind of like shady anyway.
Yeah, he's just kind of shady, and he also he had a couple shows that he was on called First Take and Undisputed on ESPN and Fox Sports 1, which were like big like sports shows, and there's always clips. If you're into sports, you saw him constantly because he was always doing something, talking about athletes and talking about all this stuff. Anyway, he on his Club Shay Shay, which is such a stupid name, but it's just
So stupid.
He had on another former football player by the name of Chad Ochocinco Johnson. Chad Johnson, and then he changed his name to Ochocinco. Really weird.
Yep.
Anyway, so
wasn't he on Dancing with the Stars once?
Probably.
Sounds familiar.
He must have been. If you heard Ochocinco, yeah, probably. And
was he number 85 when he played?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why he's Ochocinco.
I totally track.
So he was on. They were doing this podcast. He was interviewing. I don't know the exact context of it. I'll be honest. However, there were a lot of. He started not Chad, but Shannon started talking about Jews and how Jews run the world. And it was very kind of bizarre. Like it's like he said it thinking that it was completely okay to say something like it. Like there was no issue around it. There wasn't any controversy. It was just very simple for him to say it, except he didn't use the word Jews. He tried not to use the word Jews because he thought maybe it could offend somebody. So I sent the clip to you. Do you want to share it? Because I want to just see it real quick. And then we can...
Yeah, this is from a Reddit post.
Yes.
And it looks like it's from the Jewish Reddit.
Oh, yeah. It's my favorite Reddit. My favorite sub on Reddit.
Okay, and it says Shannon Sharpe goes full anti-Semite, goes on a pathetic rant whining about Jewish slurs not being used as often as other slurs because we are the most powerful community in the world. Let me make sure the volume's up.
Nah, this is the most powerful community in the world.
They own every damn thing.
Exactly. They ain't got no problem saying those words that are offensive to black people. But there's some other words that's offensive to other people. They don't never utter those. You notice that, Ocho?
Hey, which community? Hey, which community you talking about? Skittles?
Nah. They'll say that too. They'll say something about the LGBTQ. They'll say something about that. They'll say something, but the chat know what I'm talking about.
Damn, now you got me lost too. Boy. I only know about two communities.
Nah, this is the most powerful community in the world.
The Skittles community is the most powerful.
No, it's not. There's another country that has a white and blue flag with a star on it. No, it's not. It's not even close.
Oh, they own every damn thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Why,
Okay.
why don't he say something about derogatory about that? Why he don't rap that?
Oh,
He want
no.
to create content. You told me he a content creator.
Hey,
Create some content.
they own everything, boy. Boy, if you was to peel back the layers,
I remember. I'm old enough to remember when Jesse Jackson was running for president, and
What
he
year?
said something. He called New York. He called it a derogatory term. Had to apologize. Michael Jackson used the term once upon a time. Had to apologize.
Michael.
Let's move on, Ocho.
So,
Okay.
obviously that was Shannon Sharpe talking the most, and then that was his guest, Chad Ocho Cinco Johnson, and Chad seemed to be agreeing with him anyway. It's just to me, what really struck me about this is that this happened a week ago, and I have not heard anything about it until this morning. And the fact that something like this, and I pay attention to so much Jewish stuff in my social media feed. Like, I catch everything that talks of, any negative things about Jews, anything. But this had not come up until today. I did not see this until today. And it really kind of just goes to show how anybody can really just use this type of terminology and accentuate these types of tropes and not see any fallback from it. No one cares when people talk shit about Jews. No one. And they say, he says, oh, they're the most powerful people in the world, this and that. If we were, first of all, I would have heard about this the second it came out. That's number one. Number two, the show would have been pulled. He would have been banned. He wouldn't have been blackballed. Of course. So how does someone go and say, oh, they're the most powerful people in the world, and then all of a sudden there's nothing? It just makes no sense to me.
So I actually did hear about this.
Okay. Weird, because
But I didn't pay attention to it because I just don't know who he is, and it was one of those things that when you don't really know the person, you just kind of don't really care.
Right.
And I'm so used to seeing anti-Semitic people these days, as sad as that is, that I just, you kind of don't bat an eye sometimes when you see them. But I'm pretty sure it was Stella. I could be wrong. I want to see if I can find it really fast. But it could have been, maybe, I don't know. But it was one of the people that I follow online that, whether it was maybe Stella, who covers a lot of this stuff, or maybe it was Samantha Edis that covered it. I don't know. It was someone like that.
Okay.
And I just think that these things are so, the reason why you didn't see it, the reason I think that it was probably so who cares is not who cares, but honestly, it doesn't even come off intelligent. It comes off so stupid. They come off actually sounding stupid. There's no intelligence behind. Number one, he has no facts that he's bringing. He's just kind of, the
Right.
country, the black, the blue and white country with the star on it. They own everything. Why can't you just say Israel?
I know. Because he thinks he's
acting
going
like
to be
he's scared
attacked.
to say the word Israel.
I know.
The whole idea of we can't talk about it. That country we can't talk about. I follow a couple people that have used this whole idea of them. We can't talk about them.
Right.
If you talk about them, you're going to get canceled. Let's break this down. Some of the top content creators and podcasters of the era right now in the charts, all they do is talk about Israel in a negative light. Candace, Theo Vaughn, Tucker Carlson, the list goes on. They're in the top 20, top 30, top 50. If you actually break down the top 50 podcasters right now, I would say, political podcasters, I would say a solid half of them despise Israel and talk badly about it. There is no such thing as you can't talk bad about Israel these days. So, bullshit with this idea of, you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
They sound so stupid when they say that. And yeah, when you talk about the fact they own everything, sorry, we're smart. Sorry, we're successful. Sorry, we're really good with money. Sorry, we have really innovative ideas. My grandfather came here just like your grandparents came here with zero and left me with a really nice little legacy.
Right.
This is how Jews, for the most part, not all, there's a lot of really bad Jews who have zero ability to create something out of nothing. But unfortunately, for these people that hate us, Jews are really resourceful and Jews are really smart. And look how I created Daily Dose of Donna out of fucking nothing.
Yes.
I'm sorry, you can't be mad. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, isn't that what they're saying? What you're supposed to say?
Yeah,
Don't
you're
hate
good.
the
You're
game,
good.
hate the player.
I like that we
But,
watched a black person talk, and then all of a sudden you have to use don't hate the player,
yo.
hate the game. Sorry, continue.
It just sounds so stupid when they talk about this. Like, it's so this other content creator that I had to kind of unfollow because of all this drama is because when they were really finally tearing down the onion and peeling back the layers about why they were so obsessed with Candace and why they were so obsessed with Tucker, is because they kept saying, like, why do you think everyone loves Candace and Tucker? Because they're talking about the country,
Right.
the country that no one is allowed to talk about. I'm like, you mean Israel? The one that Candace can't get out of her mouth?
Yeah.
Like, the one that she talks about literally, she says the word Israel and Zionist 40 times an hour. Like, what do you mean the country? Just say Israel.
Yeah.
I'd rather you just fucking say it for what it is. Say it out loud. Just at least say, I hate Israel, rather
Right.
than this skating around like calling us Zionists. Just call us
Right.
Jews.
Right. And it's so annoying. You're right, because the fact is, yes, Jews are very, very hardworking. They're very determined. But we don't run the world. Of course, when you look at the amount of, like, if you look at the billionaires in this world or the very successful people in this world, a good percentage of those people are Jewish. Now, if you think about Jews in general, we make up a very small population of the world. Yet we make up a large percentage of the world's billionaires and wealthy. Now, why is that? It has nothing to do with a conspiracy. It has nothing to do with the idea that all of us are in some kind of weird blood pact where we have just been able to control the world. If somebody is making their way and does so well, it's because of one of two things, or both. And especially when it comes to Jews. One, they are hardworking. They started from nothing, and they worked their asses off, and they made it to where they are today. The other way is that their family, their parents, their grandparents came to this country and did the exact same thing, and then left money and left a world and left, as you said, legacy for them to thrive from. And then there's the both, where you take that money and you grow it even more because you are a hardworking Jew, because that is in your blood. It is something that we have always thrived on. It is something that has always been very important for us, because we understand what success is, and we are all not all, but we are family-oriented people, and we want to make the best possible lives for us and our families. This has nothing to do with some kind of grand, weird conspiracy theory that we run the world. We don't. There are a lot of Jews in poverty. It just happens to be that we are also a bunch of hard workers where we have excelled in a lot of ways. And that's why there's so many people that are Jewish who are wealthy. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's also there is a lot to be said about the fact that, Jews are, and I wouldn't take it away from the fact that it is also who you know, and it is also connections. And I do think that this is in every religion and demographic as well, because I wouldn't say this is not happening with the Asian community, with the Black community. This is probably happening in the Muslim community as well, or in the Buddhist community. I don't know. I just think that what happens with Jews, at least I know it happens in my community. Like, if you just say Adam needed something for your, just say your friend wanted to go to your university that you graduated from, USC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you had some in because you're in the alumni association, but your friend, it's like there's a little, like, we call it mishpacha almost, like we're
Right.
family, and there's, because Jews are so limited in terms of numbers.
Yep.
I know that I am always open. Like, I feel more connected to fellow Jews, and most people that listen to this podcast, although I do have a lot of friends and dosers that listen to this podcast that say, I'm not even Jewish and I love your show. So I know that there's a lot of allies that listen to Just Jew and me as well. So welcome. But I just think that there is something to be said that Jewish people just automatically feel a little bit more maybe aligned to want to help other Jews if approached like, hey, I am part of the Jewish organization, and I am applying to get this job. Do you know anyone? Like, there are connections.
Yes.
But I wouldn't say that that's any more than if you are an alumni from a school, or if you know someone who went to school with your father and you're not. It's like, it's just connections, but that's not shady.
Nope.
And it's not a conspiracy, and it's definitely not a plan to take over the government and try to, kill all people that aren't Jewish.
Right.
And
it's and it's not a favorism thing either. If you're working and you're hiring somebody for a job, for the most part, obviously there's going to be outliers to everything. You're going to want to hire somebody, or you should want to hire somebody who is better for the position. I'm not hiring
100%.
I'm not hiring somebody who's Jewish because they are Jewish. I'm hiring a person because they are better. So if I'm looking at a candidate between a Jewish person and a Catholic person, I don't give a shit what their names are. I don't care. I don't give a shit of what their background is. If they are fantastic at what they do, that's who I'm hiring. That's it. I don't care about anything else. So it's.
I didn't even marry because of a Jewish thing.
Yeah. There you go.
Honestly, but that's another thing, is like, we're in a place in life right now where people are really just desperate to pin it on the Jews. We're desperate to pin it on the Jews, pin it on Israel. But I don't know about you, Adam. I really strongly have felt it's lessening. The loudness of the anti-Israel and anti-Semitism has lessened in my arena in the last month or so. Like, I do think over time it will lessen the farther we get away from the war.
Yeah, no, I think it's lessened as well. I think it's definitely something that's not that I feel like it doesn't consume me as much. I guess my issue, though, is there's still these loud voices that are out there trying to cause damage.
Sure.
So if we talk about, as we said, Miss Rachel, so if I see anything from her, it just adds to the damage of it. Or Candace, right? So when we talk about that.
Yeah, so I wanted to actually bring something up really fast about Candace, and I think this is actually how I feel like this is actually helpful for Israel.
Okay.
So Candace Owens was one of the loudest anti-Israel people on the planet, right? She came in hot in the last couple years, honestly, since this war. And it was so confusing for anyone that was in the Republican Party that had been a fan of hers when she was a very, very staunch Zionist. I'm quoting that because this is the word of the year, with her. And she was a Republican. I was so not on the conservative side at all. I despised Candace Owens. So I've never been on the same side as Candace Owens ever in my life. But my mom, when she was working with Prager, et cetera, my mom liked Candace Owens because she was working with Daily Wire, she was working with Prager, and she was pro-Israel. Like, my mom was like, what's not to like?
Yeah, of course.
I just thought she just seemed like a very angry woman, because I remember that she was a black woman that was against blacks. Like,
right.
I was so confused by her whole approach. Now that I'm listening to both sides of left and right, because now I feel very much like lost on what side I agree. I hate both sides, to be
I
honest.
know.
She is so disgusting to me with her hatred of Israel and hatred of Jews. But the Charlie Kirk investigation that has taken over her life has really opened up, I think, so many people's eyes on, I believe, the grift of Candace Owens. I believe she's such a grifter. She is the epitome of a grifter. And you have sent me a few things in the last, few hours about how it's always just been about money for her on TikTok. How from the beginning of her career, her entire, and when I say her career, I mean even before she became famous.
When she was a teenager, in high school, she had issues and trying to sue schools and doing different things to grift and get money. It was constantly about money.
She was always against the fray. She's always been, her biggest through line for Candace Owens has always been confrontational, or not confrontational, like devil's advocate, like the against the norm.
Yeah.
So that's why she's been number one, she started out very liberal, which is always a little concerning when you have someone that is incredibly liberal, gets a job, and becomes very Republican.
Right.
Like, why? Money. Then became very, very pro-Israel. Not just like okay with Israel, like screaming from the rooftops pro-Israel.
Right.
Going and traveling to Israel, speaking loudly like you and I do against anti-Semitism, against the Islamic takeover of the world, and speaking so positively about Israel until she gets fired.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, against everything that the Jews and Israel does. So like every single move she has made has been incredibly odd.
Yeah.
Now, the Charlie Kirk investigation started out with a bang for her because everyone was like, something is afoot with Tyler Robinson.
And she jumped on that so quickly.
Yeah, and this is, according to her, her bestie, right? And I've found her disgusting from even before, even when we were on the same side fighting against the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni story, because she jumped on that. But when she was covering that, she was disgusting about that too. I don't know if I ever told you that she came into one of my lives and she was in the comment section, like jumping on me.
Oh, no. You didn't tell me that.
Oh yeah, Zach and I, my friend Zach, we were doing a live on a weekend, and we had a few thousand people in the live because it was like breaking news time. It was like when everything was happening, and she was covering it, and she came into the live, and she was like poking at us in the live. She was the kind of person that was covering the stories that we were covering. And then she would go on her show and she would get her audience to come after people like us, saying, I came up with it first. So all of our comments while we were covering people like Justin Baldoni were saying, stop stealing Candace Owens stuff. So from those days, before the Macron stuff, before Charlie Kirk, I was like, who the fuck is this Candace Owens woman who's coming into my corner of the internet? And like getting her girls, she was already getting the wine moms to attack me. And I remember sitting at a baseball game for Oliver, and one mom goes, oh my God, I'm so obsessed with Candace Owens' investigation on Blake Lively. And I was like, Candace Owens is an anti-Semite.
Did you say that to her?
Yeah.
Oh.
And the mom goes, she is? I didn't know that. But have you watched any of her content? And I was like, we're fucked.
Is this before or after she became besties with Kanye?
This was 8 months ago.
Right. So.
But they didn't care. But that's what I'm saying. She has such a way of sucking people into the cult. Candace Owens was saying, Blake Lively is this, Blake Lively is this. And then 5 seconds later, she'd be like, and Israel is committing a genocide.
Yeah.
And so you would get sucked into her, like with her pop culture stuff, and then immediately she would push into her anti-Israel narrative. And so this is how Candace Owens is so phenomenal. And I say this honestly, she's phenomenal at what she does. I don't know how in the world. It's like she studies how to be a cult leader.
I know.
So now, 3 months into, exactly 3 months today, September, October, November, yes, 3 months ago today, Charlie Kirk died.
Oh, wow.
Was
Okay.
killed. She started her investigation days after. That weekend after Charlie Kirk died, she was already blaming Israel. I was in Vegas for my friend's birthday, and I remember being like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my God.
Right.
And I remember texting with you being like, oh my God, here we go, we're screwed. And that set the whole anti-Israel movement back like major.
Yeah.
Major. But she has continued on such a crazy path with this whole thing that she has had no choice but to kind of move past the Israel thing because she doesn't have proof of Israel doing it anymore. That now she's blamed Egyptian planes, a swarm of bees, men in maroon shirts, the U.S. government, the French and the Macron presidents for assassination. Ukrainian refugees now got involved yesterday, and the whole Turning Point USA organization. That honestly, it's taken the heat off Israel. Now, because everyone has killed Charlie Kirk, no one can say, well, Israel killed Charlie Kirk.
Yes, but I think you're right. No, and I think from a Jewish standpoint, it's great. I think what the issue is now is that she still has these followers, and again, for being Jewish, it's fine, but the Republican Party is so divided right now because of this. Like, I sent you yesterday, I think I sent it to you, what Tim Pool, Tim Pool is this another content creator.
Yeah.
And he very much Republican, and like his just, something must have happened where his just, everything's just, there was a straw that is like the straw that broke the camel's back. He went off on Candace.
Yeah, because he feels like she's ruining everything that
Right.
they've built.
He basically saying that the midterms, forget about it because she's helping basically the Republicans lose the midterms. And if her rhetoric and that kind of stuff continues to grow and continues to split the Republican Party, there could be an issue in 28 when the presidential election happens. So it's interesting to see. It will be interesting to see how this all plays out. And I hope you're right from a Jewish standpoint that it is taking that away from Israel. But who knows at this point when you have somebody like Nick Fuentes, who's still pretty freaking popular, and he has this rhetoric that he continues to spew out where he hates so many different people and so many different races and religions. He definitely hates the Jews.
Yeah, but he doesn't scare me nearly as much as Candace, which is so weird because at least you know what you're getting with him, and he's not going to ever convert a ton of like normal moms.
You're right, but what he has in his is the younger demographic. He speaks to the same group of people that helped Trump win, these young white males. That's who he is speaking to. That is his audience. It's the same red pill people who are very much incels or fed up with women. That is such a huge demographic now that he owns that. And you're right, Candace, she has a different demographic. And hopefully that is kind of leaving what you just said, kind of staying away from Judaism and Israel. But you still have people like Fuentes who have that grip on young male demographic who are going to end up being important during election time, during when they start, and then some of these people are going to obviously get into office and start, doing things in office. So there's always going to be someone there. I just hope, as what you said with Candace, it starts to at least decline and not be as big of a topic. But I'll wait to see before I make a judgment, because people like Nick Fuentes, they do scare me. And
except Nick Fuentes is the one that's making more sense than Candace these days when it comes to Israel. I'm not joking, it's sick. But he's saying Candace Owens is totally insane to blame this on Israel and insane to blame this on Jews. And Israel is not the source of all the problems. And everyone needs to calm down about blaming Israel on everything. Charlie Kirk was a huge Israel supporter. Charlie Kirk's new book that Erica Kirk is out promoting is all about promoting the Sabbath.
yeah.
It was such a low level argument for Candace Owens to go after Israel on this one.
Oh, I know. But like she did where she thought the money would be. Israel, Jews, might as well try to capitalize on all of that and make some cash.
And the reason why people are starting to slowly like drop off the investigation that Candace Owens has started is because she's going insane now and just spewing
She's going in
random
circles.
shit.
Yeah, she just keeps on throwing out bullshit.
Yesterday's episode was wild. I listened to it through my friend who watches it live and just makes fun of her the whole time. It's the best way to watch it. But also because now she doesn't go after Israel and Jews. So people are like, oh, it's not that exciting anymore. Like people were hoping that she was going to finally pin Israel down. Like, oh, we got him. And now they're like, oh, I guess it's not that juicy.
Juicy.
Juice boxes everywhere we look.
Oh, God, stupid
Fucking juice boxes. But I'll tell you who's probably happier than ever for Candace Owens is Gavin Newsom, I bet. He's like,
why do you say that?
Take down Trump.
There you go.
Swear to God.
I know how
Worst
much
thing
you love.
ever.
I know how much you love Gavin.
Who can like Gavin Newsom if you live in California? Who?
I'm sure there's someone.
Most liberal people I know don't like Gavin Newsom.
I'm sure there's someone that likes Gavin Newsom.
6 people.
And
they don't live in the Palisades.
Oh, God. They definitely don't live in the Palisades.
Horrendous. All right. Well, that was an episode.
It was good.
Cut out my dog.
We talked dog, a lot about a bunch of people that no one's ever heard of except for us.
That out.
Yeah.
We'll do it all. Okay, well, we'll see you next week, Adam.
See you next week.
Bye, everyone.